According to NASA, the Sun is 4.6 billion years old, the Earth is 4.5, and the first living organism showed up about 4 billion years ago. These are all incredibly large amounts of time. But with the constant output of pollution coming from humans, like trash buildup in oceans and large amounts of CO2 emissions, the time for living organisms on Earth could be coming to an end. If we don't make changes to our lifestyle, we could all see catastrophic changes to the planet that we live on. A major problem for Earth is global warming. According to the National Geographic, global warming is a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, generally attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased levels of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other pollutants. The greenhouse effect occurs when carbon dioxide and other air pollutants and greenhouse gases collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight and solar radiation that bounces off of Earth's surface. Normally it would escape into space, but these pollutants, which can last for centuries in the atmosphere, trap the heat and causes the planet to get warmer and warmer each year. With the constant warming of this Earth, this is causing the melting of glaciers, early snowmelt, and severe droughts, and this in return will cause more dramatic water shortages and increase the risk of wildfires in the American West. A perfect example of this problem would be California. As of right now, it is facing some of the worst wildfires it's seen in its history. Rising sea levels from melting glaciers will lead to coastal flooding on eastern seaboards, especially in Florida, and in other areas such as the Gulf of Mexico. This flooding, in return, will slowly degrade our nation's already struggling infrastructure and agriculture. Another problem with the warming is now forests, farms, and cities will face troublesome new invasive species. According to the Alaska Department of Natural Resources, an example of an invasive species already expanding in Alaska is the Alaskan spruce beetle. They also stated that in the past 35 years, spruce beetle outbreaks have resulted in the loss of an estimated 3 billion board feet of timber in Alaska. According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, the heating of the planet is also affecting marine life and vegetation. Disruption of habitats such as coral reefs and alpine meadows could drive many plant and animal species to extinction. With multiple pollutants in the air, it starts a worry for the safety of human health. Having a warm, polluted atmosphere will cause allergies, asthma, and infectious disease outbreaks, and this in return will make it more common due to increased growth of pollen-producing ragweed. Higher levels of air pollution and the spread of conditions favorable to pathogens and mosquitoes. I know how overwhelming of a problem global warming might sound, but if everyone plays a small role, there could be a big enough change. There are a ton of things anyone can do to help keep the environment healthy. According to the Natural Resource Defense Committee, first make conserving energy a part of your day-to-day routine. Try and buy products with the government Energy Star label. When you buy a car, highest gas mileage and lowest emissions is something to look for, or driving an electric car or hybrid is also something to look for. While traveling, taking public transportation or even carpooling can have huge effects on CO2 emissions. Try to only use renewable energy, but if that isn't something you can handle, you can at least find a company that produces energy half and half. Half renewable, half fossil. Doing tiny house improvements like sealing drafts and adequately insulating can reduce energy use, considering heating and cooling uses the most energy. Also, not wasting food you buy at grocery stores can help, and also even eating less meat is good, as cows and sheep produce large amounts of methane when they digest their food. Changing your light bulbs in your house to more efficient ones, pulling the plugs on your appliances after you're done using them is a great and easy way to save electricity. Rethink taking planes so often, as they're a huge producer of air pollution. According to Fast Company, if we don't slow down the rate of warming up on Earth, new problems like waves of jellyfish shutting down nuclear power plants, and in 2030 crop yields will drop in many places. In 2040 more species will face extinction. There will be dramatic increases in wildfires, dead fish, and limited fresh water to drink. In 2060, more New Yorkers will be dying in extreme coastal storms, invasive species will spread in Europe, and wine production in Europe will decrease. In the 2080s, malnutrition and disease will increase in places like Africa, and most coral reefs will start disappearing. With the future of planet Earth being placed in jeopardy from global warming, I hope to find the time of day and help out Mother Earth.